as an artist who's very active on social media, I get asked often, and told often, I don't understand art. How do I make it make sense? How do I approach this? And there is no one right way. It's going to vary artist to artist. And the best way of explaining this, I can give you the best metaphor, is to think about when you know somebody and you learn to recognize their little signs and tells and their ticks. When they do this thing, it means this. When they sit like this, they stand like this, or they're eating this thing so many times, or whatever it is, whatever little pattern, behavioral pattern, it means this about them. They're going through this, they're dealing with this. And art is very much the same way. Each artist has their patterns, their behaviors, their whatevers in their work, these things that they do that are reflective of some part of them, some part of their work, something they're expressing, they're putting down on canvas, they're manifesting, whatever, how you want to put it. It's communication, but it's very individual, and it's a visual language, whereas it's body language with a partner or a friend, it's a visual language with art. So yes, there is an element of get to know the artist's work, read their statements, talk to them if you can, whatever it is, and eventually you'll start to pick up on it. It is an odd kind of relationship, both the artist with their work, because we have to begin to understand our own languages, our own patterns. When I make this mark, what does this say about what I'm doing? If I don't like the way this works, if I'm this kind of composition, and we start to be able to communicate intentionally for work once we begin to understand ourselves, if we have taken the time to understand what our mark making, what our color use, all of it means, particularly in abstract or less representation, like when we're not painting to be, picture perfect. So when it is more that kind of work versus, hey, look, I made a thing. Not that there's anything wrong with any form of that artistic expression. We make art for our own reasons. Every artist makes art for our own reasons, just like everybody engages in their favorite activities for their own reasons. It is still a thing a human's doing because they love to do it. And that's the gist of how to read art. It's there is no right or wrong way. You show up and you recognize that this is another human making a thing, expressing something in the best way they know how and they can. Sometimes it's not very good. Like, we're still working on developing our skills. There's pieces where I'm going, yuck, I did not get this. I did not get what I wanted. This is not, I can get closer to what I want. I'm reluctant to use better or worse, simply because it's more a matter of how close am I getting to what I'm trying to say or share or express, or how close am I getting to what I'm feeling. Because here's the thing, with all communication, it's a bit of a dance. It depends on your audience, depends on the person you're talking to, it depends on the different languages you each speak. Communication is not a one way, and yeah, there's no one right way to read art. It comes down to the artist, it comes down to the viewer, and if the artist is trying specifically to say something, they may be able to say it to some people and not others. You may not be able to understand what this artist is saying. You may not speak their language, and they may not speak yours. That doesn't make it wrong or bad or unsuccessful. It's a language barrier, and that's what that comes down to. That's how to read art.